Every night, likely at the very same hour, your dog does something strange. In fact, if you pay close attention, they do quite a few strange things while the world is quiet. You probably sleep right through most of them. But there is a secret thread connecting every single one of these midnight habits. They are all about you. Whether your dog is a tiny terrier or a giant Great Dane, there is one specific behavior they have likely done at least once that if you woke up and saw it would feel like a scene straight out of a horror movie. But once you understand why they do it, it transforms from creepy to incredibly touching. Let's set the scene. There you are, tucked in cozy and warm, drifting through dreams. But maybe it's not a perfect night's sleep. Stress, noise, life gets in the way. Suddenly your eyes drift open at 2 a.m. The room is dark, shadows are long. As you hazily scan the room, your heart skips a beat. There, sitting in the darkness, staring directly at you with an unblinking gaze, is your dog. It feels super creepy, right? Like a ghost watching you sleep. Why on earth are they just sitting there watching you breathe? Well, when you peel back the layers of canine biology, it stops being a horror movie and starts being a love story. Dogs have evolved over thousands of years to key in on the tiniest, most microscopic details of human physiology. A 2020 paper in the journal Animal Cognition noted that dogs are highly sensitive to human respiratory patterns. They can actually discriminate between normal breathing, stressed breathing, and the shallow breathing of illness. This means your brilliant dog notices when your chest rises and falls. They notice the rhythm. So creepy. Not so much. A better word would be protective. It is a welfare check. Your dog is literally on duty watching for subtle changes in your breathing or micro movements so that they can tell if you are okay. In their mind, it's a checklist. Chest moving good. Rhythm steady good. It's almost sci-fi to think they are monitoring our vitals like a furry bioscanner, but it makes total sense when you remember their ancestors. Dogs are wolves that decided to be friends, and wolves are pack animals. In a pack, keeping track of each other's condition during vulnerable rest times is life or death. One weak link endangers everyone. That instinct is carried right through into your bedroom. While you sleep, your dog is pulling the night shift to ensure the most important member of the pack, you, is still ticking. But what happens if all this monitoring convinces them that something is actually wrong? Do they just sit there and take notes? No. They escalate. And this is where things get physical. Let's say your dog notices something that strikes them as a little bit worrying. Maybe you toss and turn violently. Maybe you have sleep apnea and stop snoring for a second too long. Maybe you let out a whimper from a bad dream. No matter if it's 11 p.m. or 4 a.m., if your dog notices a glitch in your system, they will intervene. They might start with a simple plonk of their heavy paw on your arm. It's like a friend tapping you on the shoulder saying, "You good?" Or they might get a touch more forceful and nuzzle their cold, wet nose right into your face or neck. As cute as it is, this is their version of checking a pulse. Researcher Stanley Coren, who wrote The Intelligence of Dogs, notes that physical contact is one of the most primal ways canines affirm social bonds and check status. Since they don't have medical equipment, they use touch to verify you are responsive. The cool thing is, sometimes they are so subtle about it, you don't even fully wake up. They poke you, you groan, or roll over, confirming you are alive, and they go right back to sleep. You wake up the next morning having no idea that at 3 a.m. your dog performed an emergency medical exam and you passed. Now, thankfully, most nights aren't medical emergencies. Sometimes they just climb into bed to sleep. But have you noticed that how they sleep next to you changes constantly? It turns out they are using your body like a mood ring. You fall asleep with your dog curled up nicely by your feet, polite, respectful. But when you wake up, they are plastered against your ribs, or their head is on your pillow, or they are lying horizontally across the bed, taking up 90% of the space. They aren't just being indecisive or annoying. They are making calculated adjustments based on your vibes. Applied animal behavior science suggests that dogs alter their resting positions in relation to humans based on three things: ambient, temperature, human movement, and perceived emotional state. Think of it like this: your dog is customizing their sleep spot like you are a human mattress with emotional settings. If you are restless and giving off stress signals, they might move closer to apply deep pressure therapy. If you are running hot, they might slide to your feet to cool down, but stay touching. If you sigh in your sleep, like you're having a nightmare, they press their spine against yours as a living comfort blanket. They are regulating their bond based on the signals you are giving off while unconscious. However, sometimes the most important thing isn't where they are lying, but where they are facing. And if you've ever felt rejected because your dog sleeps with their back to you, you need to hear this next part because it's actually the ultimate compliment. In his book, Dogs: A Startling New Understanding of Canine Origin, Behavior, and Evolution, biologist Raymond Coppinger discusses how guarding the pack from the perimeter is deeply rooted in wolf ancestry. You've seen it. You climb into bed, and your dog curls up. But instead of facing you for a cuddle, their eyes are locked on the bedroom door. They might even have their butt pointed right at your face. It seems rude, right? Like a rejection. If your human partner did that, you'd be worried. But in dog language, this is the ultimate act of service. The contents of the room, meaning you are safe. They know that. So they are keeping their eyes on the threshold where trouble might enter. While one half of their brain is clocking your breath, the other half is on guard duty. Door opens, ears switch. Noise in the hallway, low growl, but always with their body anchored to you. They are balancing two jobs, watchman and wellness officer. It's not about ignoring you. It's about making sure you can sleep without fear, because they have the perimeter covered. But sometimes, just watching from the bed isn't enough. Sometimes, to truly protect you, they have to leave your side. And this explains the mystery of why they disappear in the middle of the night. Let's say you roll over in the middle of the night, half awake, and realize your dog is gone. They vanished. For a second, you might panic. Did I leave the door open? But then you hear the soft click-click of claws on the floor, and they trot back in and curl up like nothing happened. Where did they go? A study using GPS trackers on farm dogs found that dogs spent disproportionate amounts of the night near gates, boundaries, and entry points. Your dog, even in a suburban house, feels that same pull. They likely got up, did a quick sweep of the living room, checked the front door, sniffed the kitchen, and verified the house was secure. They are performing a miniature version of a perimeter check. They are strategic sleepers. Once they are satisfied that no squirrels or mailmen have invaded, They return to the VIPU to resume their post. And when they do come back, have you ever noticed that they seem to know exactly when it's time for you to wake up? It's almost spooky, like they have a built-in alarm clock. Are you convinced your dog tries to wake you up at the exact same time every night or morning? You're not crazy. Dogs don't read clocks, but they are masters of circadian rhythms. They sense time through light temperature and amazingly smell. As the day progresses, the concentration of odors in your house changes. The smell of 6 a.m. is distinct to a dog from the smell of 2 p.m. But why do they wake you? A 2014 study in the Journal of Sleep Research found that dogs who sleep near their humans often experience synchronized arousals. When your brain briefly stirs from deep sleep, even if you don't remember it, your dog notices. Their sleep cycle is tethered to yours. So the moment your brain flickers awake, your dog stirs too. And that's when they decide it's a great time to lick your face or ask for breakfast. It feels like they woke you, but often you woke first, and they are just responding to your signal. It's a sign of how deeply attuned they are to your biological state. But they don't always want to wake you up fully. Sometimes they just want to check in without ruining your rest, leading to one of the softest, sweetest sounds you'll ever hear. Ethologist Mark Beekoff wrote in Canine Confidential about subthreshold vocalizations. These are sounds meant to maintain social cohesion without escalating to a full alert. While you sleep, you might hear your dog let out a soft sigh, a tiny whine, or a muffled woof. If they aren't asleep and dreaming, this is often a checking in noise. It's a low-energy way of saying, I'm here, you're there, we're good. It's the acoustic version of holding hands in the dark. They are keeping the connection alive without ruining the silence. And while sound is powerful, nothing compares to the feeling of their weight. If you've ever woken up pinned down by your dog, you might think they are just cold. But it goes much deeper than temperature. Have you ever woken up because your dog is literally lying on a part of you? Maybe their head is resting heavy on your ankle. Maybe their paw is draped over your neck. Or maybe they are a small dog sleeping squarely on your chest. This isn't just about warmth. This is tactile grounding. In a pile of puppies, touch means safety. By anchoring a part of their body to yours, they create a physical alarm system. If you move, if you get up, if you startle, they will know instantly. It is the lazy dog's way of keeping tabs on you. They don't have to keep their eyes open if they can feel your heartbeat through their paw. It is efficient, but it is also a sign of profound trust. They are tethering their ship to your dock for the night. This tethering is crucial, especially when their own minds go to wild places. Because just like us, they have vivid dreams, and when they wake up, they need to know what is real. We know dogs dream. We see the twitching paws and hear the yips. But have you noticed what happens immediately after they wake up from a dream? Often a dog will wake up, suddenly look around a bit confused, and then immediately look for you. They might come over and nuzzle you, or just stare at you until they fall back asleep. This is the post-dream check-in. Just like humans can wake up from a vivid dream, feeling disoriented dogs likely experience the same confusion. Their reality was just chasing rabbits or running through fields. When they wake up, they need to reorient themselves. You are their true north. Seeing you, smelling you, and feeling you confirms that they are back in reality, safe in the den. You are their grounding mechanism, against the chaos of their subconscious. All of these behaviors, the staring, the nudging, the patrolling, they all build up to one final scientific fact that proves you and your dog are more than just roommates. Researchers call this biobehavioral attunement. A 2021 study published in Scientific Reports used motion sensors to track the sleep-wake cycles of dogs and their owners. What they found was beautiful. Dogs don't just passively live in our houses. Their circadian rhythms, their internal biological clocks, actually shift over time to align with ours. If you have a restless night, your dog likely will too. If you sleep deeply, so do they. This is called emotional contagion and physiological synchronization. It means that over months and years of living together, your dog has biologically tuned themselves to you. You are not two separate organisms sleeping in a room. You are a synchronized unit. Your heart rates your breathing, your sleep cycles. They all dance together in the dark. It is the ultimate proof that to your dog, you are not just a provider of food. You are the other half of their whole. So the next time you wake up at 3 a.m. with a paw in your face, or you see those glowing eyes watching you from the darkness, don't get annoyed. Don't get creeped out. Smile. Because in the silence of the night, when the rest of the world has fallen away, your dog is telling you the only thing that matters to them. I am here. I am watching. And as long as I am awake, you are safe. If your dog has these nightly quirks, there is a very strong chance they have imprinted on you deeply. I want to honor these silent guardians. Go down to the comments section right now and type your dog's name. Let's build a tribute to the dogs who watch over us while we dream. I'll be reading through them and sending love to every single one. Thank you for watching.